Hello everyone, I'm the Mighty Blues, and welcome to my brand new Let's Play of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Before we jump in, I got a few things to talk about. Mainly, we're going to be talking about what's going to be included during this Let's Play, how we're going to be handling things, and what we're going to be doing overall. So, as you can tell on screen, we will be playing the Switch 2 version, I will be playing on Master Mode, and one thing that I do want to go into. Zelda Notes. Now, for those of you who don't know what Zelda Notes are, this is a feature that is exclusive to the Switch 2 versions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. What they are is they are an interactive map connected to your Nintendo Switch app. So for those of you who don't like using smartphones or tablets while playing your video games, sorry, this game kind of requires it because it provides not only really good navigation for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but it also helps with tracking 100% completion if you're a completionist like me, which, yes, we will be going for 100% completion, including all of the Koroks because I'm insane. But I want to bring this up in particular because during our adventure, I will be recording the Zelda Notes. Now, there's more to it than just an interactive map. There are also voice memories, which are special little key points of lore provided by Zelda. So as we go through our adventure, we will be covering all of that as well. So I just want to bring that up because in a lot of my past Let's Plays, I will show up little mini maps that show our overall progression. For those of you who have watched my Pseudo Regalia Let's Play, as well as my Zelda 1 Let's Play, I showed all that off. The Zelda interactive map via the Zelda Notes is going to be our little mini map that will actually be tracking our progress in real time. Now, I actually want to talk about this before we jump in, because this is a really interesting piece of information. I actually scrapped this Let's Play over 6 years ago. Now, I mentioned during one of my teaser messages on social media that I had worked on this Let's Play for over 2 years and then scrapped the project, and then the Zelda Notes is actually the thing that got me to bring the project back. That's entirely true. I actually only worked on it for about a year. I got about 95% completion and then gave up on this whole project. But I recently went in 100% Tears of the Kingdom in my spare time using the Zelda Notes, and it worked so well that I actually decided I'm going to Let's Play Breath of the Wild. So here we are. And you may be wondering, hey, how come you're actually starting on the title screen instead of the intro of the game? Yeah, I actually still have my original save file for when I attempted to do a Let's Play of this back in 2018. So that's how long it's been since I've even made any sort of attempt to Let's Play this game. Now, one thing I will be mentioning as well, we will be covering the DLC, which is a big reason why we are playing Master Mode, because this is a part of the DLC. I'm going to also be completely honest, I have not done a majority of the DLC. I think I've done some of the side quests, and that's about it. I really have not done any of the DLC content, so it's going to be completely fresh for me. We will be covering all of it. I will be mentioning in the videos what differences you get via playing Master Mode versus Normal Mode, as well as some of the things that are exclusive to not only Master Mode, but also stuff that you can only get through the DLC. So, with all of that said, let us begin our adventure. I completely forgot there are multiple save files. Is this exclusive to the Switch 2 version, or is this exclusive to the DLC? I actually don't remember. I don't even know if this is a new thing. But okay, cool. Sure, new save file. Okay, just gonna share this real quick. I promise we'll get into the Let's Play at some point. I actually have separate Nintendo accounts for Let's Plays versus my personal account. So the fact that I have two save files on a completely separate account that is entirely for Let's Plays. That seems a little redundant, but I guess I'm just giving more Nintendo more money by paying for the family plan.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Can I just say how beautiful this game is playing on the Switch too? I'm sorry to completely remove all of the tension from this whole playthrough, but like, as someone who bought the Switch 1, like at launch, bought Breath of the Wild, bought all of the amiibo, bought everything because I was so excited for this game, and then played through all of it on the Switch 1, like, frame rate issues and all. The fact that this game is just, like, it looks so good even nowadays, just like, I cannot describe how amazing the Switch 2 makes this game look.
That is a Shiekah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
The Shiekah Slate, a mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. God, this game is so beautiful. I'm sorry, I really don't have much else to say other than what's in this chest? Well-worn trousers! These old trousers are threadbare in spots, but they're surprisingly comfortable. The legs are a bit too short, though. We are able to open our inventory using the plus button, which is actually something that I was trying to hold back from talking about. So you may have noticed that when we grabbed the Shiekah Slate, there was a little plus icon. That allows us to go directly into our... Okay, I accidentally spoiled that. That allows us to go directly into our inventory whenever we grab an item, and it will immediately go to said item we just grabbed. I wanted to share a fun little piece of information pertaining to that. I recently started playing through this game with my boyfriend just in our spare time, and every time my boyfriend grabs an item, he always presses the plus button and immediately goes into the inventory, and I'm always just like, why are you doing that? And you can never answer. That's a fun little story I feel like sharing. An old shirt! A thin shirt made long ago. It's coming apart at the seams, but it's better than nothing. The sleeves are a bit on the short side. Sounds like we've outgrown everything. Now, one thing I do want to go into that I technically spoiled on, upon going into your settings, you're actually able to save and load your progress, obviously, but one of the things that also showed off, Zelda Notes. I already pre-enabled these, so that way everything would function immediately upon starting to record, but going into the Zelda Notes, as of now, I've already had my interactive map open, and I will be looking at it at all times. For those of you who are curious what the interactive map looks like, because no, I will not be showing it at all times, I will only be showing it when it's important. As of now, it actually shows up as completely blank. There is nothing. I can't even filter what I want to look at completion-wise, because we haven't started our adventure yet. Again, I really like the interactive map, and I'm going to be showing it off as we go along. I know some people may not enjoy it, but I think it's really cool. And it's something that I feel like not a lot of people are going to be able to look at because it requires your phone. Or in my instance, I'm using my tablet, but you get what I mean. For me, I think it's kind of cool. It makes me feel like I have my own real-life Shiekah Slate. Because let's be honest, the Shiekah Slate is just a Nintendo Switch.
Hold the Shiekah Slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way. Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
Okay, mysterious voice that I definitely don't know, but probably know because deja vu or something. Also, I completely spoiled that. Jesus. Wow. I know what I'm doing. I've done Let's Plays for a long time. If you run up to a ledge, obviously the game tells you, if you hold up the left stick and X, which, hey, look at that! A Zelda game that actually lets you jump! This was one of my biggest complaints with the Zelda series for literal decades! I hated the fact that I was never able to jump. In this game, pressing the X button allows you to jump. If you jump up next to a ledge, you can climb. You can climb basically anything, which is a really fun thing about the exploration of this game. That green little wheel that shows up is our stamina. Holding B allows us to run, that expels stamina. God, this game is absolutely gorgeous. I'm sorry I'm gonna be saying it so much, but it's so beautifully good! No, actually, my curiosity is getting the best of me. I need to look at something real quick. I actually want to go back to the Shrine of Resurrection. I don't know if this is gonna show up right now, but I kinda have a feeling it is. Oh, please tell me, please tell me, please tell me, please tell me. Is it here already? No! It is not. Well, I guess I technically just spoiled something for now, but yeah, we're gonna be returning to the Shrine of Resurrection at some point for something. Anywho, yeah, that... I don't know exactly when collectibles are going to be unlocked and like when we're able to collect things, because like I said, on my interactive map, even as of now, it shows nothing. We're so bare. We have no map. We have no weapons. We have nothing. Hey, look at that, a tree branch. Wooden branches such as this are pretty common, but they're surprisingly well balanced. It doesn't do too much damage, it can serve as a weapon in a pinch. Oh, hey, look at that, a weapon! Using the Y button, or... Yeah, that is the Y button. God, I play so many game consoles, I have to remind myself, what is the X button, what is the Y button? The Y button allows us to swing our weapon. B lets you shield it. Or shield it? Sheath it. One thing I do want to show off. If you see something that has that little glowy thing on top of it, that means it is a collectible. That means it's something you can collect, and I have a habit of just grabbing every single thing that glows. Like this Hylian shroom. Common mushroom found near trees around Hyrule. Eat it to restore half a heart. So yeah, you can grab things that'll allow you to heal. We can do things with them at some point later on, but yeah, I just have the habit of just anything I see, I grab. Also, we can carry multiple weapons. If you press and hold right on the D-pad and then use the right stick, that allows you to switch your weapons. Like so. Holding around on the D-pad, we can switch our weapons. I gotta complain about something. I know. Wow. A YouTuber complaining about a video game that they're playing within the first 5 minutes of playing it. To those of you who played this game... hello? Mysterious voice?
Think.
Yes?
Head for the point marked on the map in your Shiekah slate.
Okay. Thanks for completely derailing my train of thought. Check the Shiekah slate with minus. So yeah, we have our first objective by holding minus, or not holding minus, by pressing minus on the map or on the controller. You can pull up your map. These little glowy pieces, those tell you where you need to go for your current objective. If you want to check your various objectives, I am very much used to Tears of the Kingdom. If you press plus to go to your main menu, and you press L, you can go to your adventure log. This shows all of your quests. They are categorized by main quests and memories. Memories is something we're gonna get into at some point. But there are other various side quests that we will be able to do at some point. Whatever your active quest is, that will have the little glowy mark. So if I remove this, it will remove our active point. Anyways, as I was talking about before the mysterious voice ruined my train of thought, to those of you who played Breath of the Wild on the Switch 1 and you bought a Switch 1 Pro controller at launch, can we all agree how terrible the D-pad was on the Switch 1, at least the first edition Pro controllers? I remember so many times playing Breath of the Wild and holding right and like up. It would make me hold up, which right now we don't know what it does, but up allows you to do something else. Man, that D-pad was so terrible. So terrible. And it was only the first edition, so if you bought a Switch 1 Pro controller at launch, oh, it was such an awful controller. It was so terrible. I had a rant about that. It's a vivid memory of me playing Breath of the Wild. Also an apple, common fruit found on trees all around Hyrule. Eat it fresh or cook it to increase its effect. So that just spoiled one thing that we're able to do. We're able to cook things. Hello, old man. Oh, well met, stranger. It's rather unusual to see another soul in these parts. Who are you? Me? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who's lived here, alone, for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man to a place like this? Where are we? Answering a question with a question. That is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to the legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule.
Oh.
That temple there, long ago, was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. I shall be here for some time. Please let me know if I may be of service. So, there's a number of things that we can now interact with after talking to the old man. For one, if we look at this new item right here, A baked apple. Direct heat has softened and sweetened the apple. Eat it to restore 3/4 of a heart, which heals for more than a raw apple? Is that the proper term? Is it a raw apple? I beg your pardon. I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. I think I can. I'm the protagonist. Oh, forgive me. I cannot resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame makes for a succulent treat. So yeah, if you put ingredients in front of an open flame, it will give you baked versions of it. We have a baked apple. What happens if we put a mushroom next to it? A toasty Hylian mushroom. That heals for more than a standard Hylian mushroom. Now, food. As you can tell, cooking is going to be a thing. We are going to be going into every single recipe in this game, including the toasty and baked equivalents, because those do count as separate cooking recipes? I guess recipes is the right term. I'm technically spoiling a thing from Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom categorizes it as recipes. There is no way to categorize recipes in Breath of the Wild, but I will be showing every single one off. And with here, we have a torch. This torch will stay lit once ignited, but if you put it away, the flame will be extinguished until you light it again. Well then, just help yourself to that torch there. And how, may I ask, are you planning to use it? As a weapon, or to set things on fire? If you can't tell by the title card of this Let's Play, I like to burn. That is rather unnerving. Please be cautious with that around any dry grass that might catch fire. You know there are plenty of monsters in this area. That torch will make a good weapon if need be. However, do not just swing it around without purpose. You must face your opponent and lock your sights on them. Locking on, a staple of the 3D Zelda games. Press and hold ZL. So, if we grab our torch, this shows off yet another cool thing about this game. We can burn things! Yeah! Don't worry, I'm not just a pyromaniac. Setting things ablaze actually has practical use. For one, elemental damage is a thing. Inflicting fire on enemies does cause more damage, and as you noticed, there was a updraft when catching grass on fire. Not something we can utilize right off the bat, but something we can do at some other point. What other practical use of fire? If I take my torch and put it on this other campfire, we can take advantage of it. Also, fire hurts! You can catch yourself on fire! I am not going to fully show off, catching myself on fire because we're playing Master Mode. One of the differences to Master Mode is you take more damage. A woodcutter's axe. A woodcutter's tool of choice for felling trees. Its formidable weight and uneven balancing makes it a slow, inefficient weapon. This goes into different weapon types. We have one-handed weapons, like the tree branch as well as the torch, but we also have two-handed weapons. Two-handed weapons are slower than standard one-handed weapons, and that can be difficult. But the woodcutter's axe is a great weapon in case you need to, tear down trees, which is something we are going to be doing in the future. Now, there's a number of things we can do. One of the things that I absolutely love about Breath of the Wild is we can go at this game at our own pace. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want. Now, of course, we are at the beginning of the game, so we are limited in that. But how we make it over here, that's up to us. Now, I'm not going to be focusing too much on collectibles because, pulling up the interactive map, we still can't collect things. Well, okay, we can't track our collectibles. Our collectibles still count if we decide to collect them, but they're not trackable. So, I think until we're able to start tracking things, I'm not going to collect stuff, even though I absolutely wanted to collect some things that we passed by, but, I'm not going to do that. That is our first enemy! That is a bokoblin! Now, one of the changes to Master Mode and then regular mode is that all enemies are ranked up. What I mean by that is enemies have different difficulty rankings based on their color. Blue bokoblins are the second strongest bokoblins, with red being actually the weakest. In normal mode, this would have been a red bokoblin. This right here is a perfect dodge! If you dodge out of the way by locking on and pressing X, either forward or backwards or to the side, you're able to do a perfect dodge. What that bokoblin is doing right there with its health bar, that is another change to master mode. If you do not deal enough damage on a enemy, then they will start to regenerate. Keep that in mind. If you run out of stamina during a fight, you will not be able to do stuff like spin attacks or your charge attacks. If you do a two-handed weapon and you hold the attack button, you do the spin. That allows you to steal weapons from enemies if they are able to drop it, and it's something you're going to want to take advantage of. You can also switch weapons mid-combat, which I am definitely going to do, even though it's not a smart choice, but I did it intentionally. Any attack that causes a weapon to break does a critical hit. Critical hits are very important because they are crucial to dealing extra damage. So if you know a weapon is about to break, which yes, weapon durability is very much a thing, you can either throw your weapon by holding R, something that the game showed off before, that deals a critical hit, or if you do your final hit on a weapon, that also deals a crit. Upon defeating the enemy, we collected a bunch of things. We got the bokoblin horn, a severed horn of a bokoblin. The creature is often encountered on the plains of Hyrule. It is inedible, but it can be tossed into a stew with some critters to make an elixir. Something we're going to be doing later on. Bokoblin guts, rare material obtained by defeating a bokoblin. It convulses on its own even now and then, which is really creepy, but perhaps it has a use. And a bokoblin fang. A tooth obtained from a bokoblin. It's worn down and not very sharp, but it's still pretty hard. Could cut alongside a critter to make an elixir. Yeah, there's a lot to go into with this game, so I apologize if it feels like we're going at a snail's pace. I promise, things are going to pick up over time. Up in this tree, a new item, a bird egg. Fresh bird egg is necessary for making dishes such as omelets and crepes. You can snag them from birds' nests if you're sneaky, nutritious and delicious, perfect for cooking. So yeah, master mode is obviously more difficult. I believe, I think I said this before, but I could be incorrect, so I'm giving myself the chance to correct myself now. I believe you take extra damage in master mode, but one thing that I do know is true, enemy ranks are increased. As I mentioned before, you can know an enemy's rank based on the color of the enemy. Bokoblins, there are red and blue. I've mentioned before, red is the weakest variant. As far as I know, red bokoblins don't show up at all during master mode. All red bokoblins are replaced with blue bokoblins, and other colors of enemies are going to be replaced with others moving forward. This does mean that there is an additional rank of enemy that only shows up in master mode, that being gold variants. We'll be seeing those in the future. But continuing on, as I mentioned before, I'm not going to be going for main collectibles right now until we're able to actually start seeing them on our map. We're still very bare on our adventure, but, oh, hello, tree branch. Oh, you're a choo-choo! You're a new enemy! Choo-choos are laughably easy to deal with. They deal very little damage, and the big ones are very helpful because they drop more items. And the item that they drop is choo-choo jelly, gelatinous substance that came from a choo-choo. It's unusable in this state, but applying a bit of elemental stimulation will change its form. Something that we're not really able to do as of now, but we'll get there. Now continuing on, I kind of want to just go in a straight line. It feels very weird for me to do because I am someone who very much appreciates the exploration of this game. But considering we have nothing at our disposal, I'm going to just go where the game tells me to go. Now, one thing you can do is you can push rocks. See those two bokoblins down there? I'm going to push this rock and see if I can kill them. Yeah, buddy! Wait, that only killed one of them. That didn't kill the other one. Okay, well, I'm going to grab this weapon before you can. Buko Club. A crude bokoblin club made to clobber small prey. It's essentially a stick, so its durability is low. Alright. I really gotta get used to utilizing my parries, which are the perfect dodge, because you need to be able to doing constant damage on enemies, because as I mentioned before, in Master Mode, if you stop dealing damage against an enemy, no! I'm already low on health. That's not good. Yeah, if you stop taking dealing damage to an enemy, they will start regenerating, something I don't want to deal with. So, yeah, I gotta get in the habit of wailing on enemies as much as I can and stealing their weapons, making sure they can't attack. Oh, the problem is weapon durability is terrible right now, so we are gonna be eating through our items. Which means I gotta choose my battles very carefully. Honestly, weapon durability is a very huge complaint of most people, including myself. I think weapon durability is kind of lame, because when you grow really attached to a weapon, you want to continue using it. But weapons have limited uses, and that sucks. But playing in Master Mode, I actually appreciate weapon durability because it adds an element of strategy. Okay. What are you doing, buddy? You have a shield, meaning that if I try to hit you... Ow! I was about to show something off, but it didn't work! Yeah, if you try to hit the enemy while they have a shield, if they have their shield up, then, your attack does nothing. They're able to block it! Okay, perfect dodge, successful. I am running out of... I am running out of items! Give me your sword, sir! Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. No, stop. Ah! What? You blocked that! You bitch! Alright, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come at me, bro. Come at me, bro, I'm ripped. Come at me, bro, I'm ripped. Aha! I knocked over his shield! Allowing me to take it for myself. A Boko shield. A bokoblin made shield created by attacking a bokoblin, or by attaching a handheld... What? Let me reread that. A bokoblin made shield created by attaching a handhold to any flat tree bark picked up off the ground. It's very shoddy, so don't expect it to last very long. Yeah, well, a shield's a shield! You can press ZL to hold up your shield, same thing as your lock-on button. However, if you're holding a two-handed weapon like mine, you will not be able to wield your shield and attack. You can only do one or the other. So, as you can see, I can hold out my shield, but as soon as I attack, it doesn't allow me to hold up my shield. But upon stealing this weapon, the Traveler's Sword, a very common sword, often kept by travelers to fend off small beasts. It's fairly durable, but a bit unreliable against monsters. Now, my woodcutter's axe is about to break, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it at the enemy to deal double damage. That did a critical hit. You can throw weapons at any time, but it's recommended to throw them when they are about to break, so you can get that crit. Apparently we got arrows. Bundle of 5 common arrows. The shafts of these arrows were carved from the wood of a sturdy tree. Something we can't utilize just yet because we don't have a bow, but if you look on the top left, as you can see, if we hold left on the D-pad, we can change our shields, just like how we can change our swords. And with all of that said, it looks like we have made it to our destination. Hey look, a charging dock. Place the Shiekah Slate in the pedestal. Shiekah Tower activated. Please watch for falling rocks. distilling local information. Regional map extracted.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
So that gives us a bit of context as to what has happened to Hyrule. Looks like Hyrule has been taken over by whatever this beast is. But upon activating this tower, that might give us an idea as to what we need to do in order to defeat said beast. Now, one thing that you have definitely seen is upon activating the tower, that fills in the map. Unfortunately, it does not fill in the map for our Zelda Notes just yet, but it has filled in our in-game map. It has filled in that specific region. So the Great Tower has its own region. That region is attached to the tower. So each little section of the map has its own tower associated with it. That is a part of our completion. We need to find every single tower. And thankfully, there are ladders attached so we can fall down. Well, we can climb down or, be lazy like me and fall down. But we are able to just drop down and continue with our adventure. Because listen, our map just got filled in. We gotta explore. My, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It's almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop of that tower? I heard a voice. Well now, a voice you say? And did you happen to recognize this voice? I mean, it was a voice that talked to me when I woke up, but I don't know who it is. I see. Well, that is unfortunate. I assume you caught a sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain, or more foolish. Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be another story. Paraglider? Oh, piqued your interest, have I? Yes, I didn't come soaring down here on my own feathery wings, you know. Or not, I will happily agree to give you my paraglider, but not for nothing. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? We can look at our side quest by pressing the plus button. Something I showed off before. See? I'm one step ahead of you, game. Come, let me show you something. Okay, what you got for me? You walking a little slow. Can I like bump in? I can bump into him! You're going a bit too slow, old man! My brain wants it! I want to collect things! My brain can't handle how slow you're going! Why is he walking in circles? Why are you walking? Are you done? Have you figured out where you're going? Do you see that structure there? The one shining with a strange light. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. We have our objective. We need to check out that little area over there. Now one thing is this? Oh. So this is something to show off. Some side quests cannot be marked active. This is one of them. We cannot mark it active. It is just something that we generally need to do, and we're going to do it eventually. Now, one thing I want to show off, if I press R3 or click in the right stick, I'm able to zoom in kind of like a camera. One thing that I can do is I can actually press the A button to place a pin. So I can place a pin there to tell me that's where I need to go. I do this because I want to show off this over here. That is an enemy camp. Upon defeating every enemy in the camp, you are able to get whatever item is inside that treasure chest. However, looking at my current weapon kit, I am not comfortable fighting that many enemies. I could attempt it, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a dumb bitch. I do a lot of stupid things in this game. I don't want to get a death during my first episode, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm actually going to avoid the enemies and just make it over to that there area. Now, looking over there, you can see that Bokoblin is on a platform that is held up by Octoroks. That is something that is... Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah. Okay, that's another mechanic. If you crouch in grass, enemies will not be able to see you. So that enemy was about to see me. I crouched to hide from them because I'm actually trying to hide. I'm trying to be stealthy. But this over here. This is something that is exclusive to Master Mode. These are Bokoblins that are on flying platforms. Those do not appear in the standard playthrough. So if you're playing on normal mode, they do not appear. That is one of the reasons why I wanted to play Master Mode. I wanted to be able to show that off. Now this right here. Searching them gives me ancient tech. An ancient spring, a spring used in ancient machinery. It is light and buoyant enough to float on water, and no matter how many times it's compressed, it never loses tension. These right here are remnants of the Guardians. One of my favorite things from Breath of the Wild, and something that I am so sad never returned in Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to go more into why I love the Guardians so much during as we do this Let's Play. But yeah, if you go over to a corpse of a Guardian, you can actually search them to get ancient tech. I love the Guardians. I love the Shiekah technology. I love this game so much for all the things it introduces in the Zelda lore, and that is one of them. I absolutely love the Guardians. But we'll get more into them as they become prevalent in the story. Now, there are some treasure chests down there. Unfortunately, we are not able to do anything with them because they're under the water. The Oman Au Shrine. And hey, look at that! A special treasure chest! Any treasure chest that has an EX on it. That is a chest that only appears if you purchase the DLC. Looking inside this chest, we get A ruby, a precious gem mined from a large ore deposit found throughout Hyrule. Rubies contain the power of fire and have fetched a high price since ancient times. Now, one thing that I'm not too familiar. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It has been a very long time since I've actually sat down and played Breath of the Wild. Honestly, my save from 2018 might be the last time I even played this game. I only recently played Tears of the Kingdom. Like, I 100% that game maybe a week before I recorded this. So I only remember what you can do, what you can use with rubies in Tears of the Kingdom. I don't remember what you can use them for in Breath of the Wild. All I know is that you can sell them for a high price. So, you know, that'll be fun to learn later on. Now this metal box right here, we can destroy them, but not with the weapon that we have. Normal swords don't work. We need a two-handed weapon. Shiekah Slate confirmed. Travel gate registered to map. Access granted. Upon appearing next to a shrine, once you tap it, you are able to fast travel to this shrine. Additionally, once activating a tower, same thing applies. You can fast travel to it. One thing to note though, if you look at the icon, the outer triangle or the outer diamond is blue, but the inner icon is orange. This implies that you have activated the shrine, but have not completed it. And what does completion mean? Well, let's go inside to find out. One other thing to note, if you're playing Master Mode, your loading screen will be black and red instead of black and white. Just another little difference. To you who sets foot in this shrine, I am Oman Au. In the name of the goddess Hylia, I offer you this trial. The Magnesis trial! Shrines are essentially miniature dungeons. There are a lot of them, so get used to the scenery. Shiekah Slate authenticated. Distilling rune. Magnesis. Manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. Grab onto metallic objects using the magnetic energy that pours from the Magnesis rune. Objects held in the magnetic snare can be lifted up and moved freely. We can use our runes by pressing L. One of the key features of the Shiekah Slate is by using up on the D-pad, we're able to use runes. These are abilities given to us by Shiekah technology. Magnesis, anything that is metallic, we can move it around. It's very limited on how you can move it. Really, based on the direction that you're facing the item, that determines its orientation. You cannot rotate it whatever way you want. Sorry, you gotta wait for Tears of the Kingdom for that. But you're at least able to move it around and do all sorts of things. Also, you can raise it super high in the air and drop it. Yes, that does damage. And why, yes, I have absolutely hurt myself by doing that. How did you know? Now, going through, I'm going to be doing my best to be pretty vigilant and exploring because there are collectibles in every shrine. And while I don't think it counts towards overall 100% completion, I am a dumb, stupid bitch, and I count it as completion, so I'm going to make sure to collect everything I can. Now, one cool thing about this game, there are physics aplenty! We're able to manipulate things, so, you know, rather than just destroying this wall a standard way, I'm gonna be stupid, and I'm gonna fling around this magnesis, or this magnetic cube. Now, one other way to know that, you know, things you're holding with Magnesis do damage. Yeah, I just killed that enemy by bonking it. One of my favorite things to do is if you are playing with a Pro Controller or anything that has gyro, you can actually swing the controller around to move things. You can also just use normal button inputs. I like using the gyro controls because I'm a dumb Nintendo fan. The ancient screw. Screw used in ancient machinery. It's made of an unknown material, and no matter how many times it's turned, its threads never seem to show signs of wear. So yeah, use Magnesis to its fullest. You are able to use it to move things around, you're able to create platforms, you're also able to kill things. It's a very useful weapon, or a very useful ability. I like it. Additionally, magnetic treasure chests. We're able to grab those. Traveler's bow. Small bow used by travelers for protection. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it can be used to attack foes from a distance. And we have arrows. Using ZR allows us to draw our bow, and holding ZR allows us to fire. Additionally, you can press B to withdraw your weapon. Those treasure chests are part of your overall completion. There are a certain amount of treasure chests in every dungeon, or every shrine, not every dungeon. I don't know exactly how many there are per shrine, but one way to know if you've collected every chest in a shrine, if you if you press minus to go to your map and click on, or go to that shrine, if you see the little treasure chest icon, that means you have collected every chest in the shrine. Yes, we are going to be going for every single chest because I'm insane and I just closed the door after trying to open it! Open! No! Stop closing! Stay open! Thank you. And with that, we have completed our first of many shrines. Oh, it looks so beautiful! You have proven to possess the resolve of a true hero. I am Oman Au, the creator of this trial. I am a humble monk, blessed with the sight of Goddess Hylia and dedicated to helping those who seek to defeat Ganon. With your arrival, my duty is now fulfilled. In the name of Goddess Hylia, allow me to bestow this gift upon you. Please accept this spirit orb. A spirit orb, a symbol of courage given to those who have overcome the challenges of a shrine. May the goddess smile upon you. Upon completing a shrine, you are given one of those spirit orbs upon your health being completely filled. Additionally, we are now able to see how many shrines we've completed on the loading screen. There are 120 in all! I actually think there might be more considering DLC, but base game there's 120. Again, I don't remember everything that's in the DLC or Master Mode because I did very little of either. Seems you have managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. Paraglider, please? I encourage you to slow down for a moment, my courageous friend. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Shiekah slate you carry on your hip there. What do you mean? It has been quite some time since I've seen that Shiekah slate. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Shiekah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom time and time again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. I mean, it's like they say, they don't make things like they used to. Things used to last back in the day. Now they don't. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of those shrines, and I will give you my paraglider. So I need more now? I said treasure, but I never said there would only be 1 treasure. Whether it's 1 treasure or 4, what's the difference for a young go-getter like yourself? I don't know, maybe I'm gonna collect all 4, and then later on you're like, actually, I need all 120. Can you go do that for me? Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Are you joking? Ho! I'm afraid not, but do not worry. I have yet another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Shiekah slate. See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine where you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Shiekah slate. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. So yeah, he's correct. By pressing minus, we're able to go to those blue icons and fast travel. Something that I showed off before. Also, Hero's Path has been unlocked. Press X on the map screen to see your journey's paths thus far. Hero's Path is literally just the game tracking what you've been doing throughout your adventure. As far as I remember, it tracks up to about 200 hours worth of playtime. I plan to show it off throughout our adventure, but not right now. We've made very little progress. But now that we've got the Magnesis, we're able to grab that treasure chest that was in the water. For that, we get an amber, a fossilized resin with a caramel-esque sheen to it. It's been valued as competent in decorations and crafting since ancient times. Additionally, we are able to grab these metal boxes, and if you drop them from a high place... I said if you drop it from a high place... I said if you drop it from a high place... it will break, allowing you to grab what is inside. So, if we go over to our adventure log... we're still not able to do anything with that. Okay. But what I really want to do is I want to go over to the Great Plateau Tower and I want to fast travel. Something we will be doing a lot. Also, one thing to show off, which we probably won't be able to look at too much, is every time you are in a loading screen, it will give you little tips. I'm playing on the Switch too, so load times are probably not going to let us look at it. Also, how the hell did you get up here? I'm surprised it took you so long to catch up with an old man like me. Did you fly here? Oh, so you think an old man like me needs to fly to stay ahead of you? Oh, I still have a few tricks left in me. You have instant transmission. You're Goku. Now then, I wanted you to join me here so you could use this as a vantage point to search for shrines. Did you know about the scope on your Shiekah slate? Yeah, I showed it off earlier. Look through it, and you can stick a pin anywhere you'd like to mark on the map. Yeah, I know, I did that. Yeah, so if you press R3, you can place pins. The pins on your map serve as a reference point for your travels. Just stick a pin anywhere you're interested in. Got it! Go ahead and take a look if you feel inclined to do so. One other thing that the game doesn't really show off, we can actually stick pins from the map. There are a bunch of different stamps we can put as well. I will probably be utilizing these in some way, but not fully. I'll be honest, the interactive map kind of defeats the purpose of this for me, but it's helpful. But yeah, pins, you're able to stick here too. But we're going to do what he says. Now, he said there are 4 shrines in total on this plateau. Additionally, if you're playing with anything that has a gyro sensor, you're able to use the gyro controls. So, I'm going to put a pin there. There should be another one there. And then, there should be a third one. Isn't it, like, over here? Somewhere? I know there's a third one. Because there's that one. And then there's that one. I could have sworn there's another one. Oh, it's over there. And there. So yeah, we now have our next objective. We gotta explore all 3 shrines to get the treasure that the old man wants. And I think this is a wonderful stopping point. Thank you all so much for watching, and next time on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, we continue our adventure through the Great Plateau, figuring out more as to what happened to Hyrule. Really, what is our purpose? And so on. And until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye!